guys already see what the title is. Pretty not super clickbaity, but I was gonna save this for the podcast, but you know, I've been very late to post those, and it's been a lot, so I kind of wanted to get my mind off of this a bit. Feel free to check it out when we put it out here. Go check it on our podcast channel to see our previous ones, and I'll try to upload the ones from there most recently as possible. But as you guys see from the title, is obviously about the whole Xbox thing. What kind of sparked this is, you know, obviously with the whole Tango Gameworks getting shut down, and to nip that in the bud is that it's weird. I agree with everybody. You get rid of the company, the dev team, the only good one you had, which is Japanese, by the way. Who would have been surprised by that one? Well, besides the guys who made Doom, did the exception, but they made Evil Within, probably one of the best actual games of last generation. I forget to mention the Evil Within along with Deus Ex. You know, that's what I said, but Neo and Doom are obviously number one. They made it a sequel, and it was solid. And then they also made Hi-Fi Rush, which I still haven't played. And you want to axe that instead of freaking, you know, I don't know, 343. Like, I don't even care. Like, I stopped caring about Halo Infinite, right? I'm like, oh, whatever. And there's a great video you guys have seen all over the place. One of them was Xbox, like, things stop being irrelevant or something, or you know, whatever it is. Like, I'll go wireless. No, I agree. As someone who like, whatever is like Xbox. I mean, I barely got an Xbox One. Here's the thing, like, as a system, the series systems are good, but their naming scheme is garbage. Like, this is what's really weird, right? Like, Microsoft now, as it stands, is more of like a service provider. Just look at how they are with Windows. How many computers did they really even make? They do? No, they just sell you Windows, and that's why they try to force fucking 11 on everybody, because how else are they gonna make money when everyone already has an operating system? But it's crazy because they already have so much money. And an operating system, whatever, it gets the job done, right? It's not the worst or the best either, because it's bloated as fuck. But, and that's what it is, right? Like, Game Pass is easily one of the best services out of, you know, Switch is garbage trash, and fucking PlayStation's overpriced trash. Like, their system, great. You know, the UI, solid. The way they can use stuff with their hard drives, also super solid, right? Backwards compatibility, amazing. Software, you know, Game Pass, like the Game Pass as a service is really fucking good. The integration you have with Bing and all those other things, Sony ain't got none of that bullshit. Like you're going backwards with the PS5, right? But having the PS5 be your metric in competition isn't really a strong sticking point, and further proving how it is a system, that they are, you know, like I said, a software provider thing. But most people are like, oh, if you have a PC, then okay, what's even the point of getting a Series X? You know, like, oh, just have a PC. There's something like their software and service out of this world. But the thing is, everybody knows the only reason that's even the case is because they had to be. If they were still winning because of 360, that would not be the case, right? And they're not particularly great at any of them. And the whole thing that we're really getting at is that why they kind of became irrelevant is, like I said, one of the videos, you can check it out whenever. It's a popular one, talking about like Xbox became irrelevant, whatever. And I think in another video they said Halo literally carried Xbox, and that's so fucking true. Like how many people deadass bought the original Xbox because of Halo? Like, that's the main reason I even heard about it or played it. Same with like the 360, and then Gears. Like, Gears and Halo to me were the main reasons I wanted to buy an Xbox. And it's crazy to think, like, you know, and again, we heard it from Phil himself, like, oh, they're more focused on good software and customer service. You know, games don't sell consoles. He was half right. He's right. It's good to focus on the service, and that's why I even prefer Xbox. But no, you need games. Like, you're a game system. I mean, look what happened. The OG Xbox One fucking focused on cable and television. No one gave a single fuck. It's just that, yeah, Microsoft, like, people don't realize that Microsoft was never really a gaming company. That much is clear. We can go back to the first instance, that the fact that some people just, oh, here's a laptop that wasn't doing good. Let's just take the DirectX format, and then, oh, let's make it into like a system, and that's all it is. Like, they just got, oh, our laptops didn't sell, let's just repurpose it into as a system, and skim Windows, and then just put, you know, DirectX, like, simple, nothing crazy, right? And to this day, the Xbox, in my opinion, OG, is one of the best systems they ever released. You know, like, they were pretty genius when it came to their hardware and software. That's why they're at the position they're at now. And they happened to get lucky and buy Bungie, or, you know, buy Halo before it ever, you know, it was a marathon at that point. And same when they acquired, they were able to get Gears. Gears was going to be multiplayer, but they're like, hey, let's hop on that. That's their main thing they're good at. And as you notice, the second the company's like, hey, we want to do something else, like same with 343 and Epic, they fucked off, did their own thing. They don't know what to do. They just, like, they literally hire people like who have no idea what gaming is, or people under their belt. One of the bigger, like I said, things that gave it away was the early Xbox, because they look at it purely from a business standpoint. Shinji Mikami, you know, the guy who anyone knows is one of the producers for Resident Evil, especially 4. The reason why Resident Evil 4 is not on the Xbox is because Shinji Mikami was not very happy with the response he got from the Xbox team, and he wanted his game to be like on a system that would appreciate his artwork. You know, and that should have kind of given away that Microsoft is never truly a games company. You know, even with the people they do hire, probably the most is obviously Phil Spencer. That's the reason we love Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer is a fucking gamer. The problem is everybody else isn't. I mean, just look at the person who's technically in charge of Xbox now. They were too focused on these sales charts, which like that doesn't mean anything. You got this increased growth because the PS5 is ass. The Series S is good, and you have a great like software offering. To really think that it's gonna grow more, like no, it's be happy that it's stable, and of course it's gonna go down eventually. But what matters is having good quality games. Like, and I guarantee you that drop off is from Halo Infinite. Why would you get rid of the Tango Gameworks, the ones that probably make that spike in the first place? It's fucking crazy. And fun fact too, speaking of the devil, Shinji Mikami is one of the people who works at Tango Gameworks. Oh, it loops back around, isn't it? I just realized that. That's ironic. But yeah, no, just Microsoft genuinely doesn't understand gaming. So for most people, I would say genuinely just give up hope. I mean, right now their best luck is that I was even thinking, oh, maybe they could turn Call of Duty around, but it's like, you know what? No, just the only thing they can do is buy up people who already do stuff. And you know, like Power World's a great example, but like being under their belt, like, so my biggest advice, especially as an indie dev, like I already know they'll try to pick up my shit because, you know, I'm making stuff. I would never sell them my IP. I would do it purely for like it's better if I remain my own entity and they're like, hey, I do my thing, and they would just be money to do whatever. Maybe try to basically, you know, keep them to keep gambling with like Sony, like, oh, who gets to release this game day one or something. Like, shouldn't, like, getting out bought by Microsoft is not a great idea in the long term. Because what if I want to make a new project and they're not okay with it? And if, let's be honest, you know, if you're a good director, it's gonna do fine regardless. Again, look at Platinum Games, you know, former Capcom, they do fine. Almost every gamer they've made is a banger, right? You know, only 2 misfires outside of that. The rest have been absolute bangers. But again, they can take that risk because they don't put all this high budget into anything. It's just that, yeah, no, like, that's why now I for sure have no hopes for Halo Infinite, because Microsoft is gonna just mismanage the shit out of it. Whatever little talent they do have, they're not gonna manage it well. Like, and again, who has to work for that? And his, I guess, there's gonna be a follow-up video. Like I said, it's been a good while since I posted anything, and that one's gonna take into the bigger spectrum of what I'm trying to get at with the whole gaming crash and stuff. But yeah, no, Xbox as it stands, like, especially if you're a gamer, now more than ever, it doesn't make sense to have one system, because in honesty, none of them have any games. You know, none of them. Like, Xbox to me is just a glorified backwards compatibility machine. And I you know, Switch barely has any fucking games either. Say what you will, there's a reason to gather dust for most people. They'll come up with one good game once in a blue moon, right? Like once every year. PlayStation, deadass ain't got shit. Dude, the main thing they had this generation was a remaster of a fucking god tier title from last gen, Doom Eternal, and motherfucking Guilty Gear, and that went to shit after the first fucking patch. Like, that's crazy. Like, Guilty Gear Strive is literally the best thing they had, and it's not even made by them. Like, all these things, they're not even made by them. Like, oh, like, first of all, Spider-Man's mediocre. 2 is absolute trash. Don't talk to me. I don't give a fuck about God of War. Like, literally now, Sony makes titles that, like, only normies give a shit about. You know, and I'll get a whole another topic about all the other stuff. But yeah, no, that's the main thing I wanted to get about as far as Microsoft. So I don't have to bring it up back again into the podcast. This is going to be probably, no, it's a prequel to the video I'm going to do before to really get into the whole Microsoft thing. But yeah, I mean, I have confidence in Xbox as an ecosystem and as like everything, you know, and the thing is, we need it. At the end of the day, you need it. So then Sony can kind of try to stay in place. And at the end of the day, think about it, I actually have an Xbox and I play shit on it sometimes. You know, my biggest beef is that they started the whole stupid bullshit of paying for fucking online. I think to this day that's still fucking retarded. But as a game company, I don't really have any confidence, if I'm being honest. I think Call of Duty might do better in some consumer ways for sure. But as a product, I call it once every blue moon they'll make a decent Call of Duty, like Cold War. But it might have some issues. Again, just I don't think we're gonna reach Black Ops 2. Like, until Microsoft does something drastic, I don't see anything. If anything, the best I can tell you right now, they might be some new game that comes out, and they'll snatch it like they did like Power World, but it's not their rights, and it'll be pop out because it'll be on Game Pass or Day One, something. Then they'll help, you know, shit like that, and they'll put money into it, and it'll really help that game grow. But my advice is, any indie dev or whatever, is make sure you're just in a contract with this, you know, Microsoft. Don't ever make sure they buy you out. It doesn't matter how much money it is, because in the long term, it's gonna fuck you over. It's gonna fuck over your team, and it's gonna fuck over gaming in the long run. And purely, it's not they're trying to. They just genuinely don't understand gaming. They really don't. And you're just fucked. It's like with any other one. The funny thing is, they're not trying to even be malicious. They just genuinely don't understand. They treat it like it's kind of like software or anything else, like with market. And to me, that's the most idiotic way to look at gaming. Like, treating it like, because it's an art. Anything that's an art field is, you just can't treat the same. as like a product, even though to a degree it is a product, right? Like there are some objectable things you can look at as a product, but for the most part, not really. I mean, good example, look at fucking games, especially indie games, right? Look like, you know, cheeks to most people, but they end up selling better than Call of Duty. Crazy. But yeah, no, that was just my thoughts about Call of Duty, and then you guys will see probably the next one.